Number 4 and number 8 is the same person. That's the The name of the fortress is inMasmak. Masmak comes from the Arabic word samit, means stick.
Today he is there. Yesterday and today he
very important role in regaining Riyadh.
I will send you his number. I will tell him about
to cut short the story, the beginning of the unification of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia started here. Okay. King Abdullah started in 1902 and his mission was completed in 1932. Nice. We will learn more details as we go inside of the inMasmak because it's a late start. We'll cut short our time. Let's go. This is the head of the spear. One of the men of King Abdulaziz threw a spear aiming at Ibn Ajlan, but he missed Ibn Ajlan and he hit the door. And this is the head of the spear. It's been here since 1902. You can take photos, you can do videos as well. So King Abdulaziz, yes.
He likes to play and he likes to watch.
انت اعطاك لتصير الرياض اعطيك لحد شوي
كان الكلام في عراقي شوي. Guys, can you please go quick?
Tiens, 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 tiens. Et vous suivez.
On n'a pas beaucoup de temps.
Prenez une photo, c'est pas Non, mais.
There have been 3 Saudi states. No. Okay. Awesome. Okay. The capital of the first Saudi state was not Riyadh, it was Diriyah. Why Diriyah? Because the Al Saud used to be the rulers of Diriyah. It was their hometown. Okay. And in 1744, there was a gentleman called Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab, okay, a religious scholar in the region. He wanted to have a kind of reform. So he sought political power with Muhammad ibn Saud, the leader of the Diriyah. Back in 1744, the two gentlemen signed a treaty which stipulated that Muhammad ibn Saud would be in charge of political affairs in the region, and Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab would be in charge of religious affairs in the region. The two gentlemen, their mission was so successful that between the years 1803 and 1814, all GCC countries belonged to the first Saudi state, with the exception of Kuwait. So Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Maskat, all belonged to the first Saudi state between these years. Also parts of Iraq, parts of Jordan, parts of Yemen, the Hijaz region, the western part of the Arabian Peninsula, belonged to the first Saudi state, and that upset the Ottomans. So the Ottomans sent troops from Egypt, led by Ibrahim Ali Pasha and his son. They made it through the Red Sea and they conquered Hijaz. Then they reached Diriyah and they put Diriyah under a siege for about 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, the ruling family members surrendered to save their lives and to save the people's lives. Despite that, Diriyah was destroyed completely.
So that was in 1814.
That was around 1814. Okay. And because Diriyah was destroyed completely, okay, the leaders of the second Saudi state chose Riyadh to be the capital, because basically Diriyah was a wreck. Between the years 1843 and 1865, this is the maximum expansion of the second Saudi state. 1865 was the year inMasmak was built. So inMasmak was built during the time of the second Saudi state. Okay. The end of the second Saudi state happened in 1891 after a battle called Al-Malayda. Okay. After that battle, King Abdulaziz left Riyadh and he settled in Kuwait. He came back to Riyadh in 1901. He did not manage to get hold of Riyadh. Then he came back in 1902 with 64 men. And we'll see drawings of these gentlemen, the soldiers that supported King Abdulaziz. And also, we will watch a film that's a remake of the regain of Riyadh.
Okay.
In 1902, as I told you, King Abdulaziz came back and got hold of Riyadh, and we'll learn more details. But the end of the second Saudi state happened in 1891. This is the map of the second Saudi state. It shrank a little bit. The first Saudi state was bigger. Mecca and Medina did not belong. The religious zeal was not as strong as the first Saudi state, and there were conflicts among the ruling family members. So it wasn't as stable as the first Saudi state. This is the map of the current kingdom of Saudi Arabia as we know it now, the capital of which is Riyadh. King Abdulaziz started in Riyadh in 1902. Okay, and Riyadh is in a plateau called Najd. Okay, the central region of Saudi Arabia is called Najd. Okay, because King Abdulaziz started in Riyadh, he named himself the Sultan of Najd. Okay, and later on when he annexed Hijaz, he named himself the Sultan of Najd and Hijaz. That's why there are two swords on the Saudi emblem. One represents Najd and one represents Hijaz and its dependencies. Okay, the completion of the mission of King Abdulaziz happened on the 23rd of September, 1932. That's why we celebrate the 23rd of September as our national day. Okay, King Abdulaziz in that year named the region the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia rather than the Sultanate of Najd and Hijaz. And he named the region the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia rather than, and he named himself the King of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So far so good?
So far, so
Yeah.
good.
Let's
Thank
go
you.
to the next
Very
section.
interesting.
Masmak was used as a weapon store for some time. That's why we have some weapons here and there. And also it was used as a prison for some time. And in the 1990s it was renovated and changed into a museum of the castle.
Sakin.
With Ajlan dead, the window of his bed surfaced as Abdulaziz suffered to spare their lives.
يتعلق عن ثلاجات كذا فيه قابل مصر.
ما في يعني اول ما اطلع من الباب
تطلع نص من اليسار
اي
في ازقه صغيره كذا.
أيوه.
اذا دخلتها تلقى محلات اليسار.
بس ممتاز. ايش في ثاني غير العرض المائي هذا؟
قاعات كثيره.
Thus, Abdulaziz was proclaimed Emir of Riyadh.
شفت معك كمان مكان نقدر ناخذ زاويه تصوير جيده فيه.
المصمك كله جميل.
هو خذها اكثر من زاويه.
بعد اختفائه في الربع الخالي لمدة 50 يوما قادمة من الكل، عاد عبد العزيز سرا إلى الرياض ومعه 60
This stand used to have names of soldiers. The majority of them had their last names as Al Saud. The last name is Al Saud. That means this is a loyal person. The last name ends with an I. Usually, not always, this is a tribal name. So, it's a tribal name. Like you talk about sometimes millions of people scattered around the Arabian Peninsula. Okay, and if the last name ends with bin, okay, like this one Al Marzouk or bin Sa'dan, this is a family name. Many families belong to tribes, but some families do not prefer to have their tribal names written on official records for different reasons. The offspring of those people and any other warrior that helped King Abdulaziz in any battle, they are supported some way or another by the government of the Kingdom of Saudi, either by being paid an allowance of 3,000 Saudi riyals for owning a gun, or for being given priority upon joining the military as officers. Okay. There we have two types of saddles put on top of camels. If you are here in Riyadh, I recommend you to ride a camel. here, if it's red, we call it shmar. If it's white, we call it ghutta. It's a matter of personal preference. And there is a dress code here in Saudi Arabia. If I happen to go to a government sector as a Saudi and I'm not properly dressed, the clerk has the right to send me away. They can say to me, they can tell me to put on a shmar. Right? This garment is a winter garment and it's called degla. Okay? And it has lots of print like this or embroidery. Grown-up people wouldn't wear it. Usually kids would wear a colorful degla like this. And grown-ups when they want to wear degla like this, they wear it in seasonal certain celebrations. Degla is a winter item. It's like a big large box. The wall was demolished in 1950. More people wanted to come and live in the capital. That's why land developers of Riyadh demolished the wall. The population of Riyadh in 1920 was 19,000 people. In 1930, the population increased by 40%, so 27,000 people lived in Riyadh then. Nowadays, we talk about 5 million people in Riyadh only, and around 32 million around the Kingdom of Saudi. Saudis and expat. And 60%, I think, of the population are Saudis. The rest are expats. These are different photographs of all Riyadh put together. From the type of the cars, we can tell that the photographs were taken in the 50s or late 40s. As I told you earlier, there is a dress code here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it was very unmanly of a man to walk on the street without a headgear. You notice all the men in this photograph had a headgear on. This little kid forgot to wear his shoes, but he didn't forget to put on a headgear. This little kid wanted to look like a man, so he put on a headgear. People have relaxed about this. You see young Saudis, even older Saudis, they walk on the street without a headgear. It's not unbecoming anymore. It's become normal.
May I ask you a question? When appeared the tradition to have this, what we call officer color? When it appeared, the officer color that you
I'm not sure. It's been around since I got born. So
Okay.
since I became
You always have
aware,
seen it.
I've always seen it. But in Emirates, I have cousins there,
no,
they don't
no
have
color.
it.
Yeah, yes, I know.
Actually, our collar was larger even.
Comme ça, comme ça.
Our collar was like this. It had 3 buttons.
Next time we can do it in French, no?
Yeah, you can be the guide. Really, I hope to learn one day speak French.
We have the orange line there, the photograph. This photograph dates back to 1985. And the orange line indicates the order of Riyadh. Notice the expansion of Riyadh took place in one direction. And Riyadh now is at least 6 times bigger than Riyadh in 1985. Because there isn't a big body of water around Riyadh, so the limit is the sky. Land developers managed to make Riyadh expand horizontally, and the limit was the sky. Here we have different governors of Riyadh, starting with number 1, and this is the current one, number 12. 4 and number 8 is the same person. That's the current king of the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, King Salman bin Abdulaziz. He had 2 terms being governor of Riyadh. The first term was from 54 to 60. The second term was from 62 to 2011. 2011 he became the crown prince. That's why he was no longer governor of Riyadh. You notice all of them have the title His Royal Highness. What's the significance? His Royal Highness is a title given to somebody with a direct lineage with King Abdulaziz. You notice all of them? Abdulaziz, son of Abdulaziz. Yes, son of Abdulaziz. No one will become a king if they are not his royal highness. It's not prerequisite for a king. This room is a gallery. There are captions underneath each photograph. I'll give you 1 minute to explore the gallery.
About the country, about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, history, tradition, in Greece, in line. So I will give him my phone number to get your details, so we can send it to you want English language. Right now we can give it to you.
الله يسعدك شكرا. تواصلنا معكم كثير عندكم تجارة من أمريكا عن طريق الخدمات الزين وأجزاء Okay. Yes. This is one of the wells in Old Riyadh. Water is still available, but it's not open. The bucket is lowered down, brought up. The water was kept in those wash basins. Which are called durul. Because obsolete, the name itself has become obsolete. These are different shapes of wash basins. Actually, there was lots of aqueducts in Riyadh, and it was enough for the locals because the population of Riyadh
برا
1930 ميلادية أدى إلى انخفاض عدد الحجاج لأكثر من الثلثين. وأدى اختراع اللآلئ الصناعية إلى إلهاف أضرار جسيمة بصناعة اللآلئ في المنطقة الشرقية على الخليج العربي. هذه الكوارث زادت من عناء الناس ومشقاتهم، وأصبحت الحياة صعبة. لهذا كان لا بد من زيادة موارد المملكة ولا سيما المياه. كان الماء دائما شحيحا في هذه البيئة القاسية. مياه الشرب، مياه الري، المياه الضرورية للبناء والاستقرار. كان الملك عبد العزيز قد بدأ منذ عام 1345 هجرية 1926 ميلادية في توزيع المضخات التي تعمل بالكيروسين لاستخراج الماء.
عندنا الماء شيء ما حسبنا حساب هذا ولا كنا نفكر. ما كانوا يفكرون اللي يفهمون الكبار. صار مثل المزارات. سنة 1349 قال بيت من الشعر يقول: نهر جرى من موقع عين الرفيع، خير المكارم أسست مكتب وغرق.
شرط یا بچه شو کنه
2005 پیدا شد 2005 بهتی بدیم
nella commissione di bacciaggio commissione pensa che Pakistan
به چه دفعات مثلا سترگی یا نه آغازه بده یو خودم ده چه دیه زیو کن ده ده سری زیو مانه فایده که سترگی خوبه سترگو تا پوزی تا بده درسته